This is Cleveland Clown, and you are now listening to That Wrestling Podcast, and it's terrible, terrible, terrible. Welcome in on a Monday. What a day it's going to be today, man. We got a lot of news to get into today here on That Wrestling Podcast. As always, it's Money, it's Clyde. We're going to talk a little wrestling, baby. You ready, brother?
What's up, baby? Ready to get it going, put it in the skillet and fry it.
Fry it up, baby, on a Monday, too, man. Lots going on. Had a special little show last night on WWE. Going to touch on that. Evidently, WWE Superstar is done with his time in the ring. We're going to touch on that. Got a little update on Daniel Bryan. We're going to touch on the second segment with Neville. Also going to touch on some CM Punk news. Lots of CM Punk news to get into today. Going to touch on that. Lots of rumors and speculation surrounding his wrestling career to get into today. Also going to touch on the Shield show tonight. Like we said, last night was that final show. And so we've got some Dean Ambrose rumors to touch on. Also, some John Cena was kind enough, I guess, recently to share his thoughts on AEW in an interview he gave, and we're going to touch on that also. And then, if you didn't know, Triple H actually had some of his AEW comments scrubbed recently, and so we'll touch on that. Lots to get into today, man. Big juicy show on a Monday, brother. And before we do, why don't you be so kind to tell the audience what's going to happen if this podcast hits 1,000 subscribers, baby?
Well, we're going to get Dave here in a crisp Elvis suit, and then wear me out with the guitar. No headshots, like I always say. I already have enough mental problems, brother.
No shots to the brain, brother. So right
and that's a shoot.
So right away, man, let's hop into this here. A little bit of news on Aiden English. This came out over the weekend, and I guess, it's kind of not really a surprise, but is Aiden English done as a WWE superstar? Has his in the ring time come to a close with WWE, brother? And recently we've seen him as part of the commentary teams, and this is a beautiful little article here I found on, and I want to give credit to the source properly, brother. This is on WrestlingNews.co, and it's a beautiful article about recently Aiden English booked some, autograph appearances outside of the WWE, so they usually only let people do that that's like ring announcers, that's not actual talent, I guess. So what do you think about that, brother?
That's a shame, man. I thought he was really talented. When I think of him, I automatically think of Rusev Day more than his the tag team that he was in. I'm trying to
Simon
remember.
Gotch. Yeah, him and Simon Gotch.
What was the name of that team? I'm having a hard time remembering.
Yeah, it's not coming to me right away either, brother. That's what I was thinking too. The whole Rusev Day gimmick was just so over, and it's kind of a shame to see. And I'm going to read you a quick quote from this article, brother. It says, Aiden English has begun to take non-WWE bookings as his in-ring time with the company appears to be over, at least for now. English is an announcer for 205 Live, and announcers are classified as employees. The nature of announcer contracts allows them to take non-WWE autograph appearances.
Wow. Yeah, his voice is custom fit to be an announcer. I think WWE maybe should reconsider, but I guess it's probably too late, man. The guy's got a perfect voice for announcing.
He does.
And I thought he was a really good wrestler, too.
Well said, brother, on both, and I think he does a pretty good job announcing. If you didn't notice, I don't know if you caught all the pre-show matches on WrestleMania, but he was out there for several of them, and yeah, I thought he did a pretty good job. So I guess if they're done with him as a talent, and if he's willing to accept this role, I'm happy for him to see him still be part of the show and still working within the company. But at the same time, like you said, man, that Rusev Day gimmick was so over at one time, and I just kind of wonder why they just went so cold on that, brother.
Yeah, and I feel like he was a huge part of that, man, with Rusev being over like he was. I thought he was the missing ingredient for Rusev, really. I thought the guy was kind of magic, man. I don't know.
Yeah, man, he was like the lemon in the lemonade, like he was what was missing, brother.
A little extra spice on the steak.
Yeah, man, so speaking of something a little bit spicy, man, I want to hop into this right away with you today, brother. CM Punk, did you see over the weekend he appeared in like an independent show? He came out and hit somebody, and forgive me, is it the GTS? Is that what it's called? And then he snuck off and ran backstage, and did you see that?
Yeah, oh yeah, man. Actually, out of everything I heard or seen, that's kind of at the top of my head, man. That was really cool. And for some reason in my mind, I kept hearing JR say, "That's gotta be CM Punk. That's gotta be," but
Yeah, because then he in the actual WWE, didn't he wear Mysterio's mask for a few matches or something, or was that in the WWE where he did that?
I believe he took Mysterio's mask. He had his own mask there for a little while.
Yeah, so this is the
running
news.
around with.
This is the news that really has the wrestling world on fire, even more so than this whole Shield, like final ride and like Ambrose's last match. Like what I'm seeing on the web and on Twitter, man, is lots of news and speculation about CM Punk. And actually, there was another article that I found on that dude where it said that this is not the first time that CM Punk has made a masked appearance and like kind of snuck into a show. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I heard something about somewhere maybe in 2003.
Yeah, this is on, and forgive me here, I'm going to give you the source here. I always like to do this. This is on Fightful.com, and they're claiming this to be like an exclusive article, so I don't want to definitely give them credit, but here's a quote from it. CM Punk appeared at a freelance wrestling show on December 4th, 2015 titled Raw Power. He would manage, is it Kikitaro? Excuse me, I'm butchering this gentleman's name, in a match against Darren Corbin and Dick Justice. Punk was clad in a cloak and tossed out salt ahead of the match. The commentators referred to him as Kikitaro's nameless mentor and didn't get involved in the match. And yeah, here's a picture of him we've got actually up on our site if you want to check that out at thatwrestlingpodcast.com. And yeah, dude, so evidently CM Punk has been pulling this for a while. I wonder why the 2015 appearance never really got on the radar like this one.
That is a good question. It may have. I almost remember hearing something about that, but this one is so fresh. It just happened. I want to see CM Punk back in the ring full time somewhere. It's probably not going to be the WWE.
Yeah, I do too, brother. Yeah, anytime we can get more CM Punk, brother, is what I want to see, brother. And I'm pretty sure the whole wrestling, universe, love him or hate him, man. You love seeing him out there, though. You know what I mean? Either to boo or to cheer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when we talked about this yesterday, it was off there. You chose the word polarizing. That couldn't have been a better word because CM Punk is polarizing.
Perhaps
either like you said, you either love him or hate him.
Well said, brother. Yeah, perhaps the most polarizing, wrestler, man, out there.
Yeah. I'm always pulling for him, man, and I get stuff from people. Oh, he can't fight. Well, I don't care. Neither can I.
Yeah, right, brother. I hear you there. Yeah, man. I still respect him for doing what he did out there, in the octagon, brother. Win, lose, or draw, brother. Absolutely. Hey, man.
Yeah, exactly. That took big balls to even try that, man.
Just to step out there, brother. Absolutely, man. And speaking of taking some big balls, we've got to take our big balls on out to a break, brother. So, yeah, having said that, dude, we're going to step out for a quick commercial break, and actually we're going to be right back in segment number 2 with Nevlin, brother. You excited about that? You got any words for him today?
Let me tell you something, Nevlin. Next week, now.
You guys
Nevlin, man, one of our greatest friends of all time, man. Nothing but nice things to say about that.
Yeah, independent wrestling sensation Nevlin's going to be nice enough to join us, and he's already let me know a stipulation for coming on the show. He wants to do Random Wrestling Knowledge twice. He wants to challenge you today, brother, in Random Wrestling Knowledge. He wants to do the same 3 questions with you and see who performs better.
Well, I guess I'll go in there like CM Punk, man. At least I came.
That's right, brother. At least you came to the show. Yeah, and
we'll showed up.
Speaking of coming, we'll be right back with Nevlin, folks. The following is a paid advertisement for Squirrel Treatment Centers of America. That Wrestling Podcast is not responsible for any products in this ad.
Do you suffer from ACE, also known as atypical constant ejaculation? Well, you are not alone. And now, thanks to the Squirrel Treatment Center of America's patented new Semenese technology, you can get your problem taken care of. It's a series of 3 invasive, laser-guided injections that'll have you up and running in no time. That's the Squirrel Treatment Centers of America. Not only am I a spokesman, but I'm a client.
Welcome back. We got a special guest for this segment. It's going to be Nevlin kind enough to join us. What's up? All the way from Puerto Rico. What's up, brother?
How you doing, brother? All good in the hood.
How's the weather down there today?
Well, today is raining, man. It's been raining for the past two days, but the weather's kind of crazy out here because it rains 1 minute and then like 10 minutes later the sun is blazing. So it's kind of crazy weather.
Lots of humidity, huh, brother?
Yeah, crazy weather out here in the tropics.
And so I got a couple topics I was wanting to touch on with you today. And first off, thanks for taking a minute to join us, brother. Always appreciated. And
Sure,
I'll hop right into this without further ado, man. Have you seen the news about Daniel Bryan over the weekend that he was evidently pulled from the house show circuit? And evidently he was supposed to wrestle Saturday and Sunday in house shows. And the WWE has evidently pulled him from that too. So he didn't wrestle Saturday or Sunday. Word is he's supposed to be back Tuesday on SmackDown, but that's kind of up in the air, I guess, too, brother. You got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I've read a lot, and I posted a lot in some of my pages and groups, and our groups we have together. I posted, and yeah, it seems like maybe he had a small injury or whatever, because if they're announcing him for Tuesday, maybe it might have just been, maybe he got a small injury and they had to pull him off. That's my guess. I don't know, unless he came out and down with, or he was sick or something.
Well, he's been injured.
I don't know. They haven't.
Since WrestleMania, evidently. Evidently, he came out nicked up in that match against Kofi, and they've kind of played that close to the vest, though, brother, because I haven't heard many details on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they haven't really mentioned it. That's what I was gonna say. They haven't really mentioned anything about it, or really, like, when you read when they post about it, you don't really see the details or anything. So I don't really know what's going on with Daniel Bryan. I hope he comes back soon, because I'm not a really big fan of Daniel Bryan, but I do like I do like him around. He's a good talent, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm a huge Daniel Bryan fan personally, but yeah, man, he's
I used to like him better in Ring of Honor. I used to like him better around there when he had them battles with the people over there. You know, all his battles, they were epic,
classic
man.
battles, man. Yeah, so you're saying you like your Daniel Bryan without a beard? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. No, I'm fine with the beard, bro. I'm all good for the beard, man. You know, it's all good to me, bro.
So a little bit more news I was wanting to touch on with you today, brother, is Braun Strowman, man. What is Braun Strowman's position in the WWE? And there's a beautiful article here, and this is on, and I'm going to pull it up because I want to tell you guys the source. This is on thesportster.com. And it just says, they're curious where Braun Strowman stands with the WWE. They've got a backstage source they're quoting that kind of says that Vince looks at Braun like a mascot at this point, not really like a champion. And, what do you think about that?
I don't know, man. To me, they've dropped the ball on Braun Strowman so many times, man. Just when you think he's there, like they somehow get him out of the match, or they don't do anything with him at all. Because I remember when he was feuding with Lesnar, I mean, what other perfect guy? He's believable enough, to beat Brock Lesnar, like totally dominate the dude. They could have done something like that and build him up more as a monster. Right? And hell, Braun Strowman is a hell of a guy, man. For his size and his thing, he does some moves out there that he.
Yeah, well said,
bro.
Yeah, the guy can move. He's a monster out there in the ring, and I kind of feel the same way. Like they dropped the ball with Braun, man, and he was also so over with the crowd there for a while, and I think the crowd's kind of slightly cooled on him, but I kind of blame WWE for that, for the way they've booked him the last year. And here's a quote from that article right here, brother. I wanted to read you. It says, "I just think he's at the point now where Vince sees him as a walking mascot for the company more than he sees him as a top guy. So he's kind of like a modern-day 911 for ECW versus being seen as a franchise player for the company." So yeah, I guess they kind of just don't really view him as champion material.
I don't know, man, or like the Big Show, but at least Big Show held the title title maybe like 2 times in WWE.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Big Show. Yeah, exactly. Has had those pushes and has been in the main event picture and stuff. Not that Braun hasn't, but the Big Show has been put over in those big moments. And hopefully at some
Big
point,
Show has held the world title, but Braun Strowman hasn't held any type of title at all. The only thing he won that they gave him a title or a trophy was that Greatest Royal Rumble thing.
the Andre the Giant Memorial.
No, the other one, the Greatest Royal Rumble, remember they gave him like a title for that or something, like a belt. I don't know if that was a belt or I totally forgot. The one they did in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he did win that. It was like a 25-man over-the-top battle royal or something like that, brother.
Yeah, and afterwards they gave him like a championship, I think it was, but I don't know. Like he even won Money in the Bank, bro. He had Money in the Bank. They could have. It's like Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin, a lot of people, they were expecting big things from him, and Baron Corbin was over with the crowd at the beginning, remember that? And that's why he got Money in the Bank and everything, but he cashed in and he lost to Jinder Mahal. What? After Jinder Mahal had a battle?
Yeah, Baron Corbin.
I don't know, man.
Well said, brother. Yeah, Baron Corbin definitely fell out of favor backstage, or something happened with him there. But I still think that there's a part of the company that loves Baron Corbin because they keep putting him in these big positions. Like right now, he's pretty much in the main event picture. He was on the huge show last night with the Shield, and I'm not a fan at all of Baron Corbin, but the man is good at generating boos. So I think that the WWE appreciates that about him, brother. Hey, speaking of Baron,
I like him. To be honest, I like him because he's a big dude. Baron Corbin, he's a big dude. Like if you put him next to Braun Strowman, the dude could stare him right in his eyes. He's just not muscular or none of that, but he's a tall guy.
A big guy. Hey, speaking of Baron Corbin, Nivlin, would you be nice enough to join us for this segment of the day? This is my favorite segment of the day, brother. We call this one Random Wrestling Knowledge with Clyde. Can you join us for this one, brother?
Oh boy, let's do it, brother. Let's see what I know or I remember or whatever.
Here's what I'm going to do today, and I know the audience may not like to hear that. Hopefully everything goes over smooth. I want to ask you these 3 questions because it's the same 3 that we're asking Clyde. So so it's going to be. I think it's going to be interesting. I want to see how you do versus how he does today, brother. You ready?
Yeah, bro. Go ahead.
All right, let's hop into this. Question number 1, brother. Question number 1. How many times has Bobby Lashley held the Intercontinental Championship?
The Bobby Lashley, I would say about 4.
Mr. Producer Man, show me 4 times. Sorry, he's over picking his nose there, producer. Oh, no, I'm sorry, brother. No, it's 2. It's 2 times.
2?
2 times.
Oh, because I thought back in before he left, I thought he held it at least once. I don't know.
Right, he held it once before he's left, and he's held it once since he's been back. Okay, question 2, brother.
Didn't he go back and forth with Finn Balor for it?
He's had it once since he's been back, and he had it held it once before he left. This is according to Wikipedia. Okay, you ready?
I think it's more than that. I think it's around 3. I don't know, but anyway, let's hop on over to number 2. Yeah. I just wanted to.
Well, we can confirm that. Okay, now you're going to make me do a bunch of damn work, brother. Because when we hop off here now, I'm going to be researching this all damn day. But yeah, according to Wikipedia, it's 2, brother. So we'll definitely check that out a little later though and confirm. Okay, question 2, brother. Here we go. Has Baron Corbin ever held a major WWE singles title, and if so, which one?
Baron Corbin. Wow. I'm thinking he held the U.S. title.
Mr. Producer Man, show me the United States Championship. And I apologize here. This is not cooperate. Sometimes the computers just don't cooperate. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Here we go. I'm just joking. Here's your answer. Well done, brother.
That's the flag.
Yeah, man. Baron Corbin has held the United States Championship. Yeah, well done on that one, brother. So you ready for question 3, brother?
Let's get it, brother.
All right. What did Drew McIntyre do in the NXT that nobody else has done?
Oh I didn't, to be honest, I didn't follow Drew McIntyre that much on NXT. That nobody has ever done.
Yeah, what did he do?
Wow. But like, how do you mean? Like a backstage incident, or
No, it's in the ring, brother. It's in the ring. What feat did he accomplish on NXT that no one else has?
what feat did he accomplish? Maybe did he win? I don't know. I'm guessing. Well, let me take just a wild guess because I really don't know the answer. Maybe he won a ladder match to win the title, or he's won all the titles on there. I don't really know.
All right, Mr. Producer Man,
I don't
show
really
me
know
ladder
what to
match
answer.
and winning all the titles on there. No. And hey, let me tell you, brother, real quick. I would be horrible at this show, so I'm not trying to bury you guys on this, dude. I would be 0 for 3 every single day. So the fact that you even got one right, dude, you're already doing better than I would. Let me say that to you. But yeah, there was actually 2 correct answers that would have worked. He was the first person to win the NXT Championship in his debut match on the NXT roster. That's one thing he did. And there's another answer that would have been acceptable also. He was the first person to ever win the NXT Championship that had been on the main roster previously.
Really? Didn't Kevin Owens win in his first? Oh no, that was
Yeah.
Kevin Owens won on his second.
Right. Yep. So yeah,
On
that's
the
a couple of
second,
things Drew McIntyre's done there. So thanks for joining us today, Nevlin. We truly appreciate it, brother. And our back's against the wall. We got to take a break here. But before we hop off, do you have any closing thoughts you want to share with us today, or anything for Clyde?
No, thanks for having me on the show. I'll come in anytime you guys need me, brother. I love my brother Clyde, man. He sent me some cool figures. We go back and forth on that all the time. And to get this in real quick, I'll let you guys know, but I'm being booked for WWC Aniversario, which is their version of WrestleMania, but they've been around before, so it's the Carlos Colon company. In case y'all didn't know, that my team's name is La Revolucion. Revolucion spelled with a C instead of the T.
Oh, wow.
You know, where the T goes is a C.
Beautiful
it's a C
news, brother. Beautiful news. And when's that?
It's spelled in Spanish.
And when is the date of that event?
They haven't said the exact date, but it's either on the finals of May or around June. They haven't. They just asked me to be on it because since La Revolucion's been a big part of it, so they just want me back on it. I've wrestled. One of my favorite matches, actually, being on the team was against Primo and Epico, man. Them 2 guys could go, bro.
Awesome news, brother. Hey, I'm glad to hear that you're kind of getting your, stepping back into the ring. I know you've kind of been out of action for a little while, so it's awesome news to hear. And if you get any more information on the event, please share it with us. We'll spread the word as best we can, brother, and we'll definitely be pulling for you.
As soon as I get the day and everything, I did it because this past Saturday, I was at an event for a cancer patient guy. We did like a charity event where we had all type of wrestlers from every company. And yeah, I do a lot of work in backstages, of some events like WWL. Sometimes they call me in because they sometimes, to organize the matches and to put them in order and, stuff like that. So yeah, I do that mostly with my mentor, man, the guy that taught me everything, who's beating the crap out of the Sandman, New Jack, Super Crazy. He's fought all them peoples as a character, his old character, Alex Stream. And then he transformed into La Madre. So he's, my mentor's 2 characters. Yeah. He's played 2 characters, and they both were historic, man.
And he puts on some fantastic matches also. So, yeah, thank you for taking a moment. We was going to take a commercial break, brother, but I appreciate you taking the time to share that story with us, actually, and that was beautiful. And we'll be pulling for you out there on your upcoming event. And please share the information with us when you get it, brother. And, Nevlin, thanks for taking a few moments to join us today.
No problem, brother. Thanks to you guys, brother. Follow the reptiles.
Yeah, we'll be right back after this, guys. Thanks a lot, brother.
Hello, I'm Richard, but you can call me Dick. And I'm gonna talk about something today that not a lot of men really like to talk about. But sometimes after a long day in the saddle, I get a little itching in my nether region. And that's why I got with my friend Peter here and created a wonderful product. You tell him about it, Peter.
Well, my name's Peter. I'll tell you, if you got an itch and you giddy up, there ain't nothing better for that itch than Texas ball cream.
That's right, it's Texas Ball Cream. You can pick us up at all your local retailers. Just ask the pharmacist for Texas Ball Cream.
Yeah, we're back, baby. What a segment, what a show, what a couple of commercials there, brother. Just what a day it's been altogether, man. You know, how you doing, Clyde? Right back with Clyde here. You there, brother?
It's a beautiful day, brother. The birds are singing.
Yeah, what do you think about that new advertiser we picked up there, that Ace, man? What do you think about that?
I like it, man. I mean, you know, everybody's got their issues, and there's nothing to be ashamed about, you know.
And just products for everybody out there, you know. Yeah, and so, I like that the gentleman who did the ad, you know, not only is he a spokesman, but he's a client, you know. So
makes you trust the product more.
Yeah, it gives you a little more faith, actually, dude. Yeah. So, man, what did you think about Neville taking a few moments to join us? That was awful nice of him, man. Are you ready to see how you can do against him, like in our favorite segment of the day, brother?
Yeah, I'm ready to battle Mr. Neville.
All right, man. Well, here's what we call this one: Random Wrestling Knowledge with Clyde. Are you ready, brother?
Shoot, let's get them in, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna play Random Wrestling Knowledge with Clyde, and then we're gonna close the show out with lots of like rumors and AEW talk. We're gonna touch on the Shield's final rad last night, and Triple H actually had some of his comments scrubbed from the Hall of Fame, and John Cena shared some thoughts on AEW. We've got a lot to close with, a lot of juicy stuff. But before we do, we're gonna hop into Random Wrestling Knowledge and see how Clyde stacks up against the independent wrestling Puerto Rican sensation Neville, baby. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get it in, baby. Here we go. Question number one. Hot and fresh out the skillet, brother. Here we go. Look, I got the wrong page here. Okay. How many times has Bobby Lashley held the Intercontinental Championship?
Let's see. Bobby Lashley has been Intercontinental Champion twice. Final answer.
Mr. Producer Man, show me 2 times. Final answer. Excuse me here, Mr. Producer. Oh, man, what's he doing? I don't even want to get into it.
That's right. That's right, baby.
One for one. Yeah, brother. Yeah, so you're going to have to listen to the show yourself to see how Neville did. No, I'm just joking. Neville actually got that one wrong. He said it was at least 3 or 4. So, yeah. Good job, brother. Let's hop into question number 2. We're going to rapid fire through these as fast as we can here. Has Baron Corbin ever held a WWE singles title? And if so, which one was it?
Yes, Baron Corbin was the United States champion. Final answer.
Mr. Producer Man, show me the United States champion. Final answer. Yeah, well done on that, brother. Coming out the gate firing today, man. Hot, man, just firing today.
Two for two, brother.
Yeah, so I got another one for you, though. Let's see how you do on question 3. And actually, Neville did get that one correct. So you're 2 for 2, where he was 1 for 2 at this point. So let's see here. This might end up being the tiebreaker. Let's see, brother. What feat did Drew McIntyre accomplish in NXT that no one else has? And actually, there's 2 of them.
Let's see. He was the NXT champion.
And no one else has ever accomplished that, right?
No. I'm trying to think of the other. He was the NXT champion, and he was also the first from Scotland to be a champion in NXT.
Yeah, maybe that also. But here's the notable feats, brother. Here's the notable feats right here. Let me see what Mr. Producer Man has to say about your answers first here. Let's see. Mr. Producer Man, show me NXT champ and first NXT champ from Scotland. No. Sorry, brother. It's actually 2 feats. He's the first competitor to ever win the NXT championship in his debut match.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and he also is the first person to ever win the NXT championship after spending time on the main roster.
Good deal, brother. So that ties us up,
Yeah.
I guess.
No. He actually didn't get that one correct. I didn't want to tell you going into it. I wanted to put a little pressure on you. He missed it too. Yeah, he rambled on for about 5 minutes and gave an incorrect answer. That's what the Puerto Rican independent wrestling sensation Neville did, brother.
Well, it's all good. You can't win them all, you can't lose them all, or maybe you can lose them all. I don't know.
Man, you never know. You guys might be having a fantasy match on the LJ and Maniacs now.
That's right. Let me tell you something.
Hopefully we can get Ronnie on again soon. Maybe tomorrow, brother. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do this. Hold on. Dude, believe it or not, the call-in line is actually flashing for the first time ever. And I'm going to take this quick call real quick before we hop in with the rest of the news, brother. You ready to take this call? Let's see. The first time ever we're going to call on the show.
Yeah, let's see who this is.
All right. Hold on a second here. Let's do this. Yeah, Clyde. So right here, brother, our first caller ever. Now, go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
First, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nikita Volkov, and I am calling to tell you that I think your show is pathetic. Very pathetic. You stupid, foolish Americans. I am so tempted to get 1,000 subscribers just so I can see that stupid redneck get hit with guitar to the head. I hate your pathetic.
Man, I'm just going to cut him off right there, dude. I mean, it's enough. I mean, we can get buried all day. I don't mind taking a good tongue lashing, but this guy's just going too far, dude.
Yeah, Nikita, if you're out there, I've faced you in many, many universes. And you're going to come on our show with all that? I tell you what, Nikita Volkov, you're going to get what I like to call a red, white, and blue boot up your butthole. Believe that, brother. Don't you ever come back on this show again unless you're coming to apologize.
That's right, Nikita. That's right, brother. And the way you said that, dude, yeah, I like that. The emotion in your voice and the way he was talking. Actually, I think he had more to say, dude. But yeah, that's enough burying for one day, brother. And so let's go ahead.
He's a dangerous man, though. He really is. I will say that.
Oh, very dangerous man. Yeah, don't want to upset Nikita. That's for sure, brother. Yeah, so let's go ahead and wrap up some of this news here today, brother. Lots of juicy stuff to close out with, man. Last night was the Shield show and the Shield's final ride, and like they're still playing up this Ambrose is leaving angle. They had 3 matches on the show, but before we touch on these matches at all, I want to touch on this. Did you see the news that came out yesterday? And this could be speculation, who knows? But that Dean Ambrose is actually more likely to retire than he is to join AEW, and like maybe he's just going to step away for a little bit and then then return to WWE in the future even.
Yeah, I did read that, man. I still think, I'm 50-50 on the whole deal myself.
Yeah, because it's just odd. I'm going to read you a quote here. It says, interestingly, Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio that Ambrose is unlikely to join AEW. Not only that, but it's also possible that Ambrose retires from wrestling or that he could even return to WWE in the future. And this just kind of, just goes with my thinking all along here that Ambrose wasn't going, to another promotion, because I haven't ever seen the WWE have a special like pay-per-view for anybody that's actually leaving to go to a competitor. You know what I mean? It just felt like there was something more going on. I could believe the retirement angle way before I believe the AEW angle.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting moving forward. Maybe he wants to start a family with Renee. I don't believe they have any children. Maybe that could be the reason for the leave.
Yeah, it could be. I've just heard that he's burnt out, and who knows what's going on. All this could be storyline, dude. But that beautiful article was on the Sportster.com, and you can check it out yourself if you want some more news on Ambrose's future. But yeah, last night, dude, like I was thinking, like this just came to me, like what if all this is an angle, and like they're gonna have the Shield win the match last night, right, against Corbin, Lashley, and McIntyre, and before the match they was saying how they're the new faction, they're the new Shield, right? That's what they was out in the ring saying. So look, I was thinking, dude, like, okay, what if Ambrose leaves for a while, and now you got Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins left alone, and then them 3, Corbin and Lashley and McIntyre can just beat the crap out of Rollins and Reigns for months on end, right? Just going to beat the crap out of them. I mean, what if they even do something stupid, like give the championship to Corbin and have the Shield all beat down, and in their darkest hour, who comes out of the crowd? The lunatic fringe, baby. You know what I mean? I don't know. Am I crazy or what?
No, I think it's booking 101, man. I like it. I think it's a great idea. If they do it, pick a good, like a Chicago crowd or, somewhere in Canada to really get the best reaction if they do decide to go that way.
Yeah, somewhere that would be really hot, dude. And speaking of something really hot, man, John Cena actually shared some thoughts on AEW recently. Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen that.
He gave an interview to Chris Van Fleet recently where he shared his thoughts on AEW, and we've got a link to the entire interview up on our site at thatwrestlingpodcast.com. You can check that out, but I've got a little excerpt from it here, and it's pretty cool. It's his thoughts on competition. It says, I think external competition is great because, once again, that will force us to step up or step aside. And you can say what you want about them being competition or not competition. I view any form of digestible entertainment as competition because your eyes can go elsewhere. So that's how I view that. Competition also stands for the state of the wrestling economy, and it's really good right now. There are a lot of people overseas and smaller promotions that are getting larger and more attractions, which means that you are consuming more sports entertainment, which is good for everything.
Couldn't have been better said, man. That doesn't surprise me coming from a class act like John Cena.
Yeah, so John Cena, he's not trying to bury AEW or anything like that.
No, he's just trying to bury everybody else. that was a total joke. Total joke. That's Triple H I'm talking about.
Doom. I know, what was the little thing up on Facebook over the weekend? It was like, who's buried the most talent? It was like Cena, Triple H, or Hogan. And I was like, man, I was thinking, for real, honestly, it's probably Hogan. Like, I hate to say it, but just because he had such a 20-year run. Like,
you left out somebody there, brother.
Who else was on the list? I'm sorry.
And I was just shocked. They had Bret the Hitman Hart. That's whoever thinks that is probably never watched wrestling because he was the opposite. He would try to work with everybody.
Yeah. I would say of the four on that list, it's definitely either. And you guys let us know in the comments if you're out there listening. Who has buried the most talent? Who do you think it is? John Cena, Bret the Hitman Hart, Triple H, or Hulk Hogan? And I'd love to know you guys' thoughts also.
I'm going with Triple H, man. Especially this last. What was that 5-hour match he had with Batista at WrestleMania?
What's a perfect, right? Right. I know. What was the entrance? About $2 million.
Yeah. The entrance was 2 hours.
I saw a couple people out there at WrestleMania just waiting in the ring. I don't even know if they had any entrance music.
I think it's. My vote would actually go Triple H, Hogan, Cena, and I don't even know why Bret Hart was on there. Maybe it's because he refused to put Shawn Michaels over one time.
Right, exactly. I'm going back and forth between Triple H and Hogan in my mind also, with Cena in third and Bret Hart as a why are you even on the list. Okay, so let's touch on this.
It confused me a little.
Speaking of Triple H real quick, dude, and I hate to cut you off or to continue on, but we do have a show we're trying to do here, brother. And Triple H, he had those comments about AEW. I guess he took like a little jab at the Hall of Fame ceremony. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
And evidently on the replay, those comments have been scrubbed, brother. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm glad they did. They need to scrub him on out there too, man.
Oh my goodness.
He's always does stuff like that, man. A little lowbrow comedy. I'm just not a fan of Triple H at all, man. But
like I've said, I'm not a fan of his ring work, brother. Huge fan of NXT. Huge fan of what he does behind the scenes and how he can kind of pull a product together and be the head of something like that. So I'm a huge fan of that. So I'm conflicted with Triple H. Like I said, man, can't stand the guy in the ring. Can't stand his persona. Totally love everything he's done outside the ring. So that's where I'm like a two-face on Triple H, brother.
I will, to not completely, bury this dude. But I'll agree with you on the NXT thing, man. He's doing a phenomenal job with that.
Yeah, so evidently his remarks pulled from the video on demand on that. I guess if you want to catch those, maybe there's a little clip or something on YouTube where you can check that out. If not, I guess it's gone forever, brother.
Yeah, it just seemed like why even do that? I don't know.
Yeah, so lots of back and forth going on with AEW and WWE, man, over the weekend and over the past 7 to 10 days here.
Yeah, it's been very, very exciting.
So did you check out any of the Shield's final ride last night, brother?
No, I missed it, but I was told it was pretty decent. It was what it was. It wasn't like the greatest show ever or anything.
Yeah, it was a decent little show. I guess it ran about an hour and 15 minutes, and we'll touch on that real quick here, man. It opened up with Elias coming out, and then he started to do his show, and I was like, yes, it's Elias. Yes, he's going to do a show. Hopefully, there's nobody here to interrupt him, right? So he busts into a song, and here comes Finn Balor. And, we all knew there was going to be a Finn Balor match anyway, but I was just kind of curious to see who won it just because I was wondering what they was going to end up doing with Joe and Balor and these two titles. So anyway, actually Finn Balor sang back and forth with Elias for a little bit, and I'll say Finn Balor can sing better than Elias, brother.
I'm really going to have to watch it now.
Yeah, it was kind of funny, I guess. It was kind of different. It just seemed like they had their guard down a little more on this little show. And so after that, they had a match, and Finn Balor they had a little back and forth, actually. Elias came out pretty hot, and Finn Balor ended up taking him out there at the end. And then after that, dude, the Riot Squad came out while Elias was still kind of laying in the ring, and Elias got up, grabbed his guitar, started to play another set. The Riot Squad came out, dude, and they started singing with him also.
Oh Lord, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be watching this in a bit.
Yeah, so they moved, so evidently Liv has branched off to her own show, right? So is it going to be just Ruby and Sarah Logan from now on? What's going on there?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what it looks like. I really enjoyed the Riot Squad as a group, but at the end of the day, it's not their call. I will say this: Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan, without Liv, I think could be tag team champions fairly quick.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent tag team duo there, and also I think Liv's got the charisma to try the solo thing. I think that's kind of what WWE's wanting to see, what she has, Yeah,
I'll say this about her. Out of the three, she might have the most potential as a single, especially in the world of WWE, being a single star, and maybe a bigger star than the other two.
Yeah, well said on that, brother. And speaking of like a single star last night, the biggest star of the whole show came out after that, dude. Baron Corbin came out along with Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley, and and then they was just tooting their own horns how they're the new faction now because the Shield is no more, and they actually did a little bit of mic work before the match. And then the Shield came in, where are they? And of course the Shield is up somewhere in the crowd, and then they come out, from the concourse area, and they put on a decent match, I guess I would say. A little back and forth, but in the end it ended with everyone doing their finisher, and then the triple power bomb, and of course the Shield coming out victorious. And what do you think about all this, dude? Are you glad the madness is over, or do you want to see more Ambrose and more of the Shield?
I'll tell you what, man. I was cold on the Shield when it started, and then I started enjoying it. It seems like it's just been going on for too long. I feel like it's time to let some other stars up in the let them break through the proverbial, or I can't even speak, the glass ceiling.
Proverbial glass ceiling. Are you trying to say the Hulkamania didn't go on too long? Damn it! What are you trying to say, brother?
Hulkamania. I'm not even gonna say nothing, man. I could get death threats of that. Who knows?
Yeah, I was just saying, you was just talking about something running for a long time. I was just being sarcastic, brother. And speaking of something running for a long time, our show is actually running over today, brother. So do you want to go ahead and try to put a bow on today's episode?
Yeah. For everybody that listened, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That would be even better. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell anybody.
Tell a wrestler.
Tell a wrestler. And if you didn't like us, let us know. Hit us with the King Kong Bundy splash for the 5 count. And we will be sharing this, as always, on our Facebook affiliate pages. We got the Bliss Army, Becky Lynch Mob, Hitman Heart Fan Club, Kofi Kingston Club, I Heart Pro Wrestling, Carlitos Caribbean Cool Fan Club, Wrestling is Our Passion, Wrestling Unleashed, All Access Indie Wrestling, WWF LJN Maniacs, All Elite Wrestling, Let's Get Rowdy With It, Wicked Thoughts, Music for Thoughts, and last but certainly not least, the WWE Retro Figure Fan Club.
Well said, brother. I appreciate you having the list ready every single day for the end of the show. I know you don't do a damn bit of preparation, but you got the list ready, brother. And for you having that ready, you've just made my list, so thank you very much. And people out there, please check us out on the web. You can check us out at thatwrestlingpodcast.com. Also, please subscribe to this channel, That Wrestling Podcast, on YouTube. And once we hit 1,000, this man's taking the guitar shot. So if you like us, put us over. If you don't like us, let us know. We'll do a job for you on your show. That's the way we roll right here on That Wrestling Podcast. And having said that, we will catch you guys on the next one.
Ooh, yeah.
That's not cool.
And you can't teach that. Hey, this is the champ, Cocky Balboa. Come on down and see us at Cocky Balboa and the Honky Tonk Boys House of Salvage. We've got everything. We've got something to put a little lead in your pencil and something to put a little fire in the oven. We've got children's toys, baby clothes, Easter baskets, lawn furniture, tools. You tell them, honk.
We got broken guitars, we got working guitars. We got illegal animals and fake IDs, baby.
That's right, baby. You come on down and see us. That's the Cocky Balboa and the Honky Tonk Boys House of Salvage, baby, at the corner of 4th and Cedar in Brooklyn.